or this video, I'm not actually in my normal home. I'm actually somewhere else, probably right around 1,000 miles away from it. So my job requires me to travel a lot, so I plan on taking my PlayStation with me and uploading videos when I have the time while I'm doing my job somewhere else. Yeah. I grab my pen. So yeah, I'm currently in a hotel room being paid for by my employer. Just doing this, just waiting. It's not a like 5-star hotel or anything like that. It's a little hotel, but it's good. Has good enough internet for me to actually live stream. So that is what's going to happen. I've got my paper, got my pen. I mean, I'm going to have to pay for like the internet and stuff, but the room itself is paid for. It's one thing that if you guys want to travel, try to get a job that allows you to travel a lot. I mean, it's not great if you have like a family, but me being me, I don't have family I need to stick around right now, so I can travel all I want. But if you have like a wife, kids, you probably don't want to travel without them. Here we go. I also moved my mic close to my mouth because I didn't like the echoey sound. I preferred the breathing sound over the echoey sound. However, I have two noise canceling microphone headsets that hopefully will fix the breathing portion. So we'll see. One of them I will leave. The better one I will leave whenever I'll leave at my apartment, and this one I will leave, or the other one, the lesser one, I will have. Whatchamacallit? I'll bring with me. That way, if I lose the lesser one, I still have the good one. Anyway, go to contracts. So I happened to look in here and saw some good little contracts from here. Of course, we're always going to go for these rescues around the Kerbin. Science data. Well, we're going to Eve, so we're going to get some science data. New orbital station around the Mun. Yeah, let's take it. We're not going to touch the relays, so I'm actually going to decline this. I know it's not good for my reputation, but I'm going to decline it anyway. Satellite in synchronous orbit around Gilly. Hey, we don't need to set satellites there, so we can put satellites in synchronous orbit around Gilly. Let's make sure. Inclination of 12.8 degrees. I don't want that. Even though it could give me some money. Recovering a part from the orbit of the sun. Nope. Rescue Aldi Kerbin from the orbit of Eve. I've never actually done an Eve rescue, but we're going to Eve. I plan on sending a craft to Eve to return from Eve. So that'll be fine. I'll get this one. New orbital station on solar orbit. Let's see. Doesn't require to have any Kerbals on it. Let's do that. And look at this. This is the one that I wanted so bad. This is surface outpost on Duna. This is a one. It's a lot easier for me, at least, to land stuff on Duna than it is to land and recover from Eve. So look at that. 1 million Kerbal dollars, 45 reputation, and 33 science just for doing this one. So yes, we're taking that one. And then explore Eve. And basically, we're going to head to Eve, orbit Eve, recover the Eve astronaut, and then head back. And this will cover both those missions. You always want to try to cover missions that are concurrent with each other. And I have never recovered modules from orbit, so I don't know how this would work. I'm not going to do that because I don't want, yeah. Anyway, we're up to 2.4 million right here, so what we can do is upgrade this. Actually, we're not going to upgrade that yet. We're gonna send our our satellites to a new solar orbit with a probe. Yep. And then we're gonna, you know, new Eve or Mun bases and stuff. And then after that, we are going to do our some Mun, and then solar orbit. Then yeah. After that, I mean, I guess we can rescue Rodden from the orbit of Kerbin. So I looked at this amazing little Delta V picture I had saved and realized I didn't read it properly. So the Delta V readouts are from a atmosphere, or from a vacuum Delta V, everything. So from the surface to everything. So if we set that to vacuum, and we'll show all later on, it'll be that. Anyway, so let's start with our solar orbiter right here. So antenna, docking port, generate power, 6,000 units of liquid fuel. I think I can do that. Open craft. Eve base, Mark 1. Look at that. And let's load it. Now, how many units of liquid fuel is on this? $1,100, 7,000, and 9,000. Look at all that liquid fuel. All that liquid fuel. It's a lot of liquid fuel. So anyway, we just got to make sure that it fits all the other requirements. Because, let's see. Honestly, I can just take a lot of this away and be fine. Antenna, docking port, and can generate power. So we got our docking port, our generating power, and our antenna right there. Okay, we got all three of those. Let's get rid of these landing legs, so we're not going to need them. Let's get rid of these heat shields. We're not going to need them. Goodbye heat shield. Goodbye heat shield. Alright, now let's grab this thing. Put that there. And how many Kerbals does it have to be able to hold? 20 Kerbals. Okay. So we got 1, 3, 7. So we gotta get 13 more Kerbals capability on here, which isn't gonna be that hard. We can honestly get rid of all these parachutes because we're not gonna need them. And drogue chutes, this is gonna cut even more weight. Not too much more, but even more weight. So now what I can do is engines, fuel tanks, engines, structurals. That's what I want. It's not what I want. Fuel tanks. The 2.5 to Mark 3 adapter. The drain at liquid fuel and oxidizer. And now we just add under utility our 16 passenger bay, as well as our Next, fuel tank adapter. The straight down. Alright, now we just have to edit the fairing. And we're going to edit previous section. And just go up. And go up. And close the fairing. So now we got this large fairing here with everything. And let's see. From a vacuum, 560. Yeah, we got more than enough delta V. So 16, 23, 28. Let me take this off right here. Goodbye that. Make this a shorter rocket. This gives us 12, 19, 2400. So that increased a little bit. We don't need all these stacked on here. Honestly, I just need, you know, one of these right there. Sets of 2. And aerodynamics. What's that? Aerodynamic nose cones. Like that. Look at that. Look at that. Alright, so 2,700 meters per second in a vacuum. Still required what? Solar orbit with 6,000. Well, we got 5,000 there. 6,100. 7,200. So let's see if I were to do that. I would have 300. Alright, let's not do that. So we don't have enough fuel in a vacuum to get on a solar orbit, but what I can do is this. Say goodbye to you guys. Again, I'm trying to make this as efficient as I can. Get rid of you guys. Get a structural radial attach point. Set it in groups of 4. Like that. So now we have 1,000 meters per second. It's a large payload right here. Alright, so we've got 1,000 meters per second, which is just enough to get into a solar orbit. I don't like it. What's our thrust to weight ratio? 0.07. Yeah, not great. Anyway, let's go ahead and coupling right here. Set you to 6. Add fuel tanks. Oh, these are just liquid fuel. They're not liquid fuel and oxidizer, so I can't use those. So tanks it is. Alright, with the command and control of these guys and the command and controls down here, and our engines of this persuasion gives us 3,200, and we need 4,500. And set it to 8. That gives us 3,500. Right there. Aerodynamics for that nose cone. That's an extra DLC nose cone. Engines, command and control, structural. Strut everything together. Strut everything together. $347,000 for this solar. I don't even know what I'm getting from the solar one. Engines, nope. Command and control, nope. Coupling, that's what I wanted. Coupling, again, with these ones. Set these up in sets of 6 or 8 with fuel tanks of the this persuasion. Like that, and then the adapter, Mark 1 to 2.5 adapter. Like that. 180, 220. I don't like it. The adapters are too small. Fuel tanks still. These things down here, and engine, and then the structural. I want the bicouplers like that. It's command and control up there, and then aerodynamic nose cone. That. First off, doing that. And then these ones right here, then these ones right here, fuel tanks. Going to yellow. We're gonna do gray, but just because I like gray better. I like yellow just sticking out everywhere from there to there. So now it's gonna mess up. I've got more delta V than that. Engines, and we're going to go with our gimbal ones, which have less thrust. And set them up like that. I could have used the triples, but the triples would get in the way of the other exhausts. So what we're doing now is this and this. And we have 3,000 meters per second there, and then we have that. 3,600 meters per second there. We'll get this figured out. So you vacuum. 950. Let's see. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Well, we'll see if I can get it into a solar. We'll see if I can get this into a solar orbit. Let's get rid of all our non-propellant, which will give a little bit more. And pods, yeah, I forgot. I need to put this pod on here. This one has prograde retrograde. See, 3,600 meters per second. And let's go with fuel tanks. Mark 0. Gives me how much more? Up there. A little bit more. And if I were to keep using Mark 0s up here, still have 3,600 and now 1,200 meters per second. Let's see how much I have if I take away this 5,000 there. Let's see, get rid of you guys. Goodbye. Get rid of you guys. Goodbye. Get rid of you guys and goodbye. Alright. Time for the Mark 1s to come into play. And if I have 5,000, I only need 3 of these to be blocked out. And then let's see now. That gives me 368 with 3,500, 3,300. That's too much. The thrust we have. Let's see now. not the smartest of people. Let's get the extra 1,000 I need here. And then we'll start working with thrust and there's an extra 1,000 I have there. 34 and 300. Set this up to 8. 3,400 and 500 meters per second. That's not going to be enough. 34 and still 500. Well, add more boosters. So maybe I have to use larger fuel tanks, cutting down to that there. Fuel tanks, fuel tanks, fuel tanks, fuel tanks, fuel tanks. I was already on fuel tanks. Man, am I not the smartest of people. You know what? Just go with one orange one. Seems like the best plan I can do there. Just one orange one. Oh, come on now. Quick, 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 quick. There we go. That, so because it's going to be the top of it, move that down to there. Aerodynamic command and control. 400,000 for this sun base that's not going to have anyone on it. So one thing I should have looked at is the capabilities or the requirements before I did anything. Payload, nope, structural. Oh, fuel tanks will work. So many engines happening at the same time. Alright, so many engines are going to be launching at the same exact time. That this now has 32. Wait. And let's go with fuel still. We're still in fuel. And now we have 4,000 meters per second right there. Plus another 500. It should be enough to get us on a solar orbit. Entering in my code so I can actually see and verify. So 3,400, 950. Yeah, we should honestly almost get solar orbit with just this stage by itself. Structural. $456,000 for this. And I'm just adding these struts so that they don't go everywhere. So adding the fuel tanks and the top one the way I have it right now will allow you to decouple safely without having to worry about the stuff slamming in the bottom. So since its center mass of the stage is like right about here, you want it above that. That'll push this end out, this end in, and then the explosions will happen because the heat from these. But yeah, let's see. Let's Also, because I'm don't want this sitting on itself, I'm gonna set these right here. These 8, and they will undoubtedly be, yep, down here. And we'll change this to bull orbiter. And launch. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. For a simple reason of the I've got a Kerbal, or 3 Kerbals on here now that I don't want on there. Let's go ahead and go back to the Space Center. Not the Space Center. That's not what I wanted. $600,000 down the drain. Yeah, I thought crap didn't even launch, and recovered it. 459,000 funds, and that was it from the 600,000 funds it cost to build. So I've already, this is basically an $800,000 solar orbiter now. Oh man, that's not fun. Alright. All because I forgot to do this. I wasted 200,000. Well, where's Valentina at? Oh, wait, she's on. I know where Valentina is. Whatever. Alright. Launch. With no Kerbals on it this time. So it doesn't require any Kerbals at the moment. Oh man. Excuse me. 0 kerbals. Let's do this with 0 kerbals on this thing. Let's look at my... Why do I have monopropellant on somewhere? Let's go to delta V. Show all. Thrust to weight ratio of 1.64, so I'm going to get at least 3/4 thrust right away. So let's go to right about there. And let's see. Nice, nice, nice. Slowly making my way over. Now that I've got that slight, I'm going to hit prograde. This way, the entire craft should follow prograde all the way down. The nose is wobbling a little bit. This is a super tall tall spacecraft. Extra thrust to it. Want to make sure we're not going too far down too fast, which we're not the most stable or most efficient launch at the moment. Look at our delta V just going up as we are going up. Once we get up to a 45-degree angle, we're going to hold steady instead of trying to follow prograde. Now once these outer engines go away, we will release those pods. And there they go, falling down. Still speeding up. Got a 14-kilometer. Kilometer, 19-kilometer. Our apparatus is pretty high. All the way up, full throttle now, running at about a 45-degree angle. Hold stability assist right here until our apparatus is about just above the 70-kilometer mark. You know, we can follow prograde down right now. We'll be fine. Oop. Stabilize yourself. Nope, stay unstable. Prograde land. Once we get up to 100 kilometers, we'll kill the thrust. I like launching things from 100-kilometer height. And thrust is killed. Go back to prograde. Come on, you got it, you got it. You can go back prograde. Alright. And now what we're going to do is just come in here. Since we're already here, we're already low enough, we're going to not the reaction control wheels. We're going to deploy the heat shield, the fairing. Goodbye, fairing. Let's go ahead and 1 and 3 extend that antenna out, as well as the I just realized that I'm still in the atmosphere. But anyway, extend this antenna out. And once we get up to where we need to be, auto saving. So yeah, it's just rocking back and forth at this point right here, this connection point. So we're gonna come up here real quick and hit control from here. Hopefully, controlling from there, we'll be able to keep this entire thing in line. It's going to happen now once we get up closer, so we're going to speed up slowly so that we can raise our periapsis to this height we need it to be at. This thing is too unstable to do the turn I wanted to do. But hey, you live and you learn. What's that? It's a crew hatch. Okay. And I'm gonna slowly throttle up right now, so I can extend my, so holding it right about there. I don't want this thing to wobble itself apart. Which looks like it's almost about to do. You know what? I'm going to control from here. No. I may have to take the fairing out completely and launch without a fairing. However it is, a super tall craft. And basically all we're going to do is just keep on burning prograde until we get to its solar orbit, which we should be able to do rather easily. Look at that, we're on a regular orbit. Keep burning at prograde. Get a little more thrust now that we've stabilized from our initial acceleration. Get a little more thrust. A little more thrust. Slowly thrusting up while watching that monopropellant to make sure it stays stable. Fully forced up now. Alright. Now we are at a height of 24 million. So right about here, we will warp right about there, holding retrograde and turning our RCS off whenever we get up there. Once we get up there, we should basically be at retrograde anyway. And what I'm going to do is I am going to add a stage and put these 4 in that stage. That way they start burning and drop that periapsis down. Okay, and now we're going to go to prograde and move everything prograde. Release my fuel and engine stages and start heading on up. Okay, and now fuel and engine stages are released. Get back up to a 100 meters per second. Face this retrograde. So now I should turn over a lot. There you go, a lot easier. So the reason why I'm turning this retrograde now is I am going to warp down to periapsis, which will then let me already be at prograde when I get to the time warped location. Alright, and now we're at retrograde. We'll time warp up. I will hit prograde. We'll go to our map. Come down to periapsis. Warp there. And voila, we are basically at a prograde. We are going to launch our engines. Let's go ahead and make sure I don't accidentally press X and decouple everything. Alright, we are going to launch our engines, getting ourselves onto a solar orbit. Voila. We have more than 5,000 units of liquid fuel. I overdid a lot of the fuel on this thing. Because the Delta V calculator was messing up. That was interesting. honestly send this thing into an orbit of Eve rather easily. For an Eve orbit from LKO, well, from a solar orbit. From an elliptical orbit is roughly 1380 and 90, 1400 and something, 1700 meters per second. But let's go ahead and send this out onto a solar orbit, on a higher solar orbit. And voila. And we will get up to our apoapsis right here. Warp to our apoapsis, holding prograde. Burn a little bit prograde so we don't fall back into Kerbin's sphere of influence. Which we still have direct connection to the Kerbal Space Center. Honestly, we have enough delta V to send this thing out on a solar escape orbit, I think. Let's look at this thing right here, stating we have completed 774,000. So I guess we did make some money from it, because I said it was what, 800,000, and then I had like 200,000, you know, advance. Do this on my apoapsis and periapsis swap. That way I know that I will be above Kerbin's sphere of influence. I shouldn't ever run into Kerbin again. And look at that, I still have 2,500 meters per second. Yeah. Anywho, let's go ahead and go back to the Space Center. Thank you for that monies. We've got a couple more bases to do. I do plan on setting up another stream where I just do one thing in each episode. So, well, the first couple episodes will be building the MUN and Minmus lander. So yeah, there's that. But then yeah, one thing at a time on each episode. Okay, so 2.7 million. Once I get over 3 million, I'm going to upgrade the Science Center. And then I should only have one thing left to upgrade. Man, tired. Okay, so next thing we're going to have to do is new orbital station around the MUN, That one's going to have 2 scientists on there. But I don't need is all this fuel, so let's go ahead and take you off. Take that all off. Goodbye, that. Let's see how much Delta V this thing has now. In a vacuum, not at altitude. 7,000 meters per second. That can get anywhere. Alright, so I still need to put, so I have 3 here, 2 here, and 1 there. That's 6. And I need, what, 7 or 9? For, 9. Oh, and let's do this real quick because I'm going to need it. Scientist Glenard and Scientist Gregory. You know what? Scientist Adelie. Come on, drag you along. And Scientist Gregory. Hey, we got another Gennard Kerman, who happens to also be an engineer. Because I have normal mode, has Kerbal recoveries. We'll get rid of. Goodbye this. Actually, control, structural coupling. And then we'll do structural. I never use these things because I don't want to, but it'll work. Now we have command and control. Our little fly-by-wire node, which will let it fly by wire. Okay. And then we need, what, 3 more? So let's add a hitchhiker's storage module. So that'll give us 4. So now it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That gives us 10 instead of our 9. Let's go ahead and zoom all the way out. Let's go ahead and take this away. Let's go ahead and do this. Force percentage. That's not what I want. Delete fairing. Build fairing. Get this a lot smaller. And the game decided to try to close. Well, if the game doesn't recover, oh, it recovered, thank you. I was gonna stop everything and do it again. But this is the mine orbiter. Mark 1. Should have everything part of the MUN one. Antenna, 9 Kerbals, viewing calcula, 2 scientists, maintain stability, and then we just have to get those last 2, which we have more than enough Delta V for that, so we can honestly get rid of all these. Goodbye you. Goodbye you. We have what? 34,000. We have enough Delta V and just that lower stage to completely get where we need to go. So we can honestly say goodbye to all you outers. Goodbye, all you outers. Alright, that gives us, what, 3,800 on this stage, which is more than enough to get to Kerbin orbit, and 700. Oh wait, that's why. Goodbye all of you. Goodbye all of you. That gives me, look at that, more Delta V than I had before. So I didn't have to worry about that 6,000 units of fuel. BS. Well, let's get rid of as much fuel as we can and still have 1,500 meters per second. Let's go ahead and drop this from 8 to 6. And we'll see with this right here. Trying to save as much cost as we can to get absolute bare minimum cost. So let's get rid of all of you guys for now. Turn you to, you know what, let's go with 4. Let's see what 4 does. Let's see how 4 reacts. 4 is still 3,600, which is enough to get to orbit, plus a little bit more, and then 1,500 to get to the Mun, which I think is honestly perfect. Which I think, let's see, how much do I need to get to the Mun? $860 and 310. 1,100, 1,500, that'll be enough. Alright, and what's our thrust weight ratio now that we have so much less? 0.5, like our thrust weight ratio is so high for a nuclear engine stage right now than what I'm used to having. So this stuff right here, oh yeah. And also, by the way, having your scientists on this, they can control the craft via, if they have communications established, which, by the way, what is my action group for this base? For, that's undock decouple, that's nothing, that's deploy the, alright, so 8 is deploy the air shield, okay. So yeah, this is so much better. Kerbal wise, get rid of this ladder. We don't need a ladder on the orbital station. Take this thing, do that. That way all the stuff is lined up, basically. And yeah, there's that. Get this thing right here, saved, Mun Orbiter Mark 1, and launched out. So we're going to orbit the Mun, get more funds, and see how this goes. Oh, that was a weird noise. Oh man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the other one once I. Oh!